If you enjoy political discourse and the true meaning behind what our public figures say, you'd be a keen observer of words and phrases. We like that. Well, this year's official list of banished words and phrases might make you angry, or in some cases, it might make you glad. Wordsmith Kel Richards opens his innings for 2022 tonight with an insight into the words people want out. Happy New Year to you, Kel.
Happy New Year to you, mate. This has been around since 1976, and at the start of every year, it's great fun. It's a good way to begin the year by saying, what do we need to put out to pasture as a tired old racehorse of a word and just not used for a while?
How and who compiles this list?
Lake Superior State University. They started it in 1976 basically as a public relations exercise because they wanted a bit of publicity. But it took off. And it's become an institution in America. They now have real linguists running the thing and acting as the judges. So it's become something much bigger than the public relations department at LSSU ever expected it to become, which is good. It's good for us because it's good fun.
Yes, OK. Let our viewers be the judge of a series of these, and I'd like your insight in particular. There is one that's used in text messaging and social media quite often that they want out. Wait, what?
Yes. It's something that I find it odd that it's used in social media. It's the sort of thing that you should do with a kind of double take. Wait, what? In other words, I didn't fully understand what you mean, or you can't really mean that, surely. You know, you're pulling my leg. You're not serious about that. Now, I didn't know this was dominating social media because, like you, Chris, I choose not to occupy that realm a great deal of the time, but I'll take their word for it that it's swamping of social media. If it's there too much, it is a silly expression. I mean, if you're responding to a text or an email, why would you type "wait what?" ? It's a silly thing to do. There are more sensible ways to deal with people, even in that realm.
Now, there is one that I've got a bone to pick with. It's one that clearly comes from those submissions that don't live in Australia because we use it so often. No worries.
This is number 2 on their list. The Americans have only learned it recently. Can I just say one of the interesting things about this? People forget that we are exporting expressions to America and we gave them this one. This is ours. It belongs to us. It's in the Australian National Dictionary, recorded from 1967. The earliest citation they have is from Jack Hibbert's play White with Wire Wheels. It's ours. It belongs to us. The Americans don't understand it, which is why they're upset with it. The Americans say, well, if I'm worried, I don't want someone to tell me not to worry. And if I'm not worried, then why are they telling me not to worry? So they say, it's all wrong. It's all wrong. You just should say, you're welcome, or, happy to help, or whatever. Well, we Australians know how to use it properly. We're not annoyed by this expression. We're not tired of it. We know when we say, no worries, mate. We are saying, I was happy to help. It's the kind of thing I like to do. It's not a worry. It's not a problem.
Yeah.
So we understand it. We use it properly. Let the Americans get annoyed. If they borrow our expressions, then, they'll end up confused, won't they?
Yeah, they can banish it. We'll keep it. Thank you very much. Now, this I agree with because it's so totally and utterly meaningless. At the end of the day...
Yes. When is the end of the day? I mean, is the end of the day when the election is over, or is the end of the day when the pandemic has run its course? It is a totally meaningless expression. It reminds me of the bottom line. Well, the bottom line is, well, at the end of the day, it's that kind of thing which I think comes out more of management talk than political talk. It's the kind of thing management consultants are likely to say when they're talking to the senior management people who are paying them huge amounts of money, because it sounds impressive. It sounds nice, Well, we've got to a conclusion at the end of the day, X, Y, and Z. But it is a nonsense expression. It doesn't really mean anything, and we are better off without it.
Another redundancy. That being said...
Yes, people put this in as what is called a bit of verbal puffery. This is one of those expressions that get thrown in when people are desperate to, what am I going to say next? Well, I've said da-da-da-da-da, so I'll say, that being said, while the wheels in the brain are spinning like crazy. You can hear the gear wheels going when they're saying something like that. That being said, what we need to think about is it's puffery. I call it verbal spackle. It's used to fill the gap, right? That's all it is.
We need to use spattle a lot more. That's one thing we need to do. Now, here's a phrase that's too cute and too often used. asking for a friend. We're over that joke, Kel, aren't we?
Yeah, well, yes. But people apparently still do. I think Americans maybe try and get away with it more often than we do here, because I think Australians are just a touch more worldly and a touch more cynical. You tell me you're asking for a friend, and I say, yeah, right. So I'm not going to be persuaded. So if someone sends an email to an expert or someone they know who they think can answer, and say, well, if someone had a really embarrassing story in a really private place, and I'm asking for a friend here, yeah, right. We don't believe that, do we?
Yeah. It's a great argument. Fantastic debates arising from this. Great to have you on the program, Kel. All the best for 2022.
All the best to you, mate.